Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Being a strong person, is it important? Yes, indeed, it is important. Why is it that much important? Because the world we are living in does not understand the weak person, does not respect and care for the weak person. Rather, it is the strong people who dominate the world, who make a place here in this world, who get respect, command respect in the society. So, being strong person is really important. If at all we want to live well here in this world, if at all we want to become happy, if at all we want to lead a dignified life. So, dear friends, what is meant by being a strong person? Does it mean that we are going to fight others, defeat others, not at least physically, not even mentally, if it is not very essential? It's not being in conflict with other people, rather, it is dominating oneself first, it is commanding control over oneself, it is refinement of our attitudes, and as a result of that, it is going to become, we are going to become a strong personality. Indeed, we will start feeling strong, and that is going to be the topic of our today's discussion. Like always, we have chosen a useful article, very beneficial article on the subject, and the caption of this article is 10 sticky notes we all need hanging on our walls. 10 sticky notes we all need hanging on our walls. So these are 10 sticky notes. What are these? First of all, it is learn to say no. Learning to say no mean resisting wherever the resistance is needed. Don't need to become compliant all the time. We don't need to obey the people for all the time. We don't need to say yes when we actually mean no. So we have to learn to say no, and we politely don't say that we have to become rough in this respect. We need to say no politely, but we need to do it firmly. That is important. The first thing is, the first sticky note is say, learn to say no. The second is tell the truth. Tell the truth. Telling of the truth, even if it is bitter, but tell the truth. But it doesn't mean unnecessarily hurting other people. It does not mean we rather need to tell the truth in an intelligent manner, in a wise manner. So it actually means that we become credible on the one hand, and we are not blunt on the other hand, but we have to tell the truth. The third point, believe differently. Believe differently. What is this, by the way? Look, what is happening that what is happening? What is happening is that if at all we keep believing whatever all the people in the society are believing, so we will be one of them. We will be like them. So we cannot become differently. To become a different person, to become a different personality, we have to believe differently. What is this different belief? It is going to be totally positive. It is going to be greatly practical as well. Somehow we need to believe differently. And now the sticky point is, the fourth sticky note is change your mind. Changing of the mind, wherever it is needed, wherever it is needed. We don't have to stick to the obsolete ideologies. We do have to embrace the new, the developing and ideology, and we need to change. We need to change our mind. We should be ready. We should be ready to change the mind at a time when it becomes necessary. We don't have to become rigid. We don't have to become too much conservative. We don't have to be rigid at least. We should be ready to change the mind when it becomes necessary. Now, the fifth is prioritize your needs, especially physical and psychological health. Prioritize your needs. We need to prioritize our needs. We need to prioritize our genuine needs, especially the top of all these is our physical health, our psychological health, and then of course money which is earned, which is being earned in a legitimate legal manner. Money is important, but more and but provided it is earned in a legal manner, in an ethical manner, in a legitimate manner. And we have to prioritize the physical health. We do have to prioritize the mental health. Prioritize your needs. The sixth sticky note is learn from your mistakes. Learning from our mistakes, that is very very important. There is no such person in the world who is successful but they don't learn from their mistakes. Those who don't learn from their mistakes, they are a definite and 100% failure. So we do have to avoid all that, and we have to learn from our mistake. That is the most important lesson. And those who don't do that, this actually means that they are not learning, they are not improving, and they are like incorrigible person. We don't have to become an incorrigible person. We do have to reform ourselves on a constant basis, constant and even at a faster basis. The seventh point is embrace your imperfections. Embracing our imperfections. All of us have the imperfections, but it does not mean that we should put ourselves, we should start feeling inferior. Not at all. Imperfections are not only with us, but with each and everyone else. Even those people who are very prominent in the society today, who are known in the whole of the world, they people too do have the imperfection. But the difference between us and them is that they do embrace their imperfection. It does not mean that we don't need to improve, we don't need to reform ourselves. We do have to reform ourselves, we do have to work constantly on this, but we do have to embrace it first of all. Embrace our imperfection. Now, the eighth point is forgive and seek forgiveness. Forgiving and seeking forgiveness, that is extremely important indeed. Why? Because those who don't forgive and who don't seek forgiveness, they are those people who keep themselves under a great burden, under a great stress. They can never be a relieved person, they cannot be a confident person, they cannot be a relaxed person at all unless and until someone is a relaxed one. I think they cannot move forward, they cannot develop, they cannot prosper, they cannot lead a good life at all. So, to be able to do all that, it is extremely important, it is essential, it is invincible that we do forgive other people on the one hand, we seek forgiveness from the other people on the other hand. So that is extremely important point. And the ninth sticky note is begin again, stronger than before. So if at all a failure, a kind of failure or setback has arrived in our life, so we don't need to quit. We don't need to quit at all. Rather, we need to recover. We need to recover as fast as we can. Does not mean that recovering in such a manner that we fall again. Like it is like if at all somebody has fallen sick, it does not mean that they should quit from struggling toward their goals and destinations. Rather, what we need to do is, my dear friend, we need to recover it as fast as we can. Recovery is very important and very important. Begin again, try again, try again, try again, and keep trying unless we do succeed, unless we do achieve whatever we wanted to achieve. It is so important, my dear friends. And there is a beautiful note at the end of that. The mind is like a muscle, and like every muscle in the human body, it needs to be exercised sensibly. It needs to be exercised, but exercised sensibly to gain and maintain strength. It is so important. Such a beautiful ending, such an extremely important sticky note, and like a kind of conclusion, like a kind of concluding remark. The mind is like a muscle, and like every muscle in the human body, it need to be exercised, but it need to be exercised sensibly to gain and maintain strength. Thank you.